Ready whenever.
Yes, I'm ready whenever you are. בעזרת השם, תורה ל"ח 38, ליקוטי מוהר"ן, part ו', and Rabbeinu is bringing that amazing story on Cain and Hevel. ורבותינו ז"ל said, מי שיש בו עזות בידוע שנכשל באשת איש. If a person is arrogant, so for sure he failed with another man's wife. Can you argue with רבותינו ז"ל? Can you argue with חכמינו ז"ל? Are you able to argue with them? You think maybe you know something that they don't know? Maybe they haven't learned what that you learned? Okay, so they said that if you're arrogant, so you failed with another man's wife. Do you want to say that you haven't? Do you maybe want to say that you haven't? Maybe you, or that you're not arrogant. Maybe you're not arrogant. So, what it means to fail? To fail, it doesn't mean to fail all the way. To fail, it means to have any kind of failure, any kind of desire, every kind of failure of even looking for one moment, even just having that hirhur, one thought about another man's wife. And even if you haven't saw her, and even if you haven't really looked, just you thought that there might be a better woman than your wife, already you failed in another man's wife, because you thought about someone else that is not yours, not belongs to you. Like that it's written, מי שיש בו עזות בידוע שנכשל באשת איש. And where they learned it from, כי קין עמד על תאומתו של הבל. Cain, he wanted the wife of Hevel. There was a woman that was belonged to Hevel, and Cain, he wanted her. כמו שכתוב, like that it's written over there, ויהי בהיותם בשדה. רבותינו learned it from that verse, that when they were standing in the field, when they were there, they were arguing on what they were arguing, on Hevel's wife. That was the fight. And he came to kill him because of that. He came to kill him. People, because of their lusts and desires, they're killing other people. They're throwing away all of their luck and all of their future and all of their success. And they're damaging their own lives and all of their beloved ones, all of their friends and family. A person, because he's got some crazy desire, that's it. He doesn't see his wife anymore. He doesn't see his children. He doesn't count no one anymore. Why? Because suddenly he saw someone. In the end, you're going to check, you're going to see what he saw, you're going to say, for that woman, for that satisfaction, for that pleasure. I remember once I had a conversation with a friend of mine from the yeshiva, and he told me, I thought to myself, why all of the time I have foreign thoughts about other women? So he said, and I realized that it's because that I am in a lot of stress that I'm not allowed to look at other women. So because of that, all of the time the thoughts are coming and attacking me again and again and again. So what was his solution? He said, I decided I'm going to think about it. I'm going to go all of the way with those thoughts. I'm going to think, what is the Yetzer Hara offering me? And he said, and then I sat and I thought to myself, what can I do? What the Yetzer Hara is offering? What is the options? And then I realized that if I'm thinking about it, so I'd rather to be with my wife. I'd rather to stay with my wife than to ruin all of my life and to run after all of the desire. He said, and that conclusion, it chilled him completely. That's it. He said, okay, so I'm going back to my house. I'm going back to my wife. I'm happy. When you're afraid to think about the problems that you have, when you're afraid to think, to deal, to confront your fears, your anxieties, so then it looks so threatened and horrible, and who knows what's going to happen and what's going to... When you think about it and you're not scared and you don't afraid to deal and to observe and to look and to find the truth and to admit and to confess and to say, yeah, that's me, those are my problems, I need to deal with myself, I need to confess, I need to do tshuva, then you take out the sting, you take the power of that problem that makes you so terrified and stressed out, and that's it. And then it's not threatening you at all. וישראל שעמדו על הר סיני, and Am Yisrael, that they were standing on Mount Sinai, פסקה זו המתן, the filth, the contamination that was contaminating all human beings from the sin of Adam HaRishon, been stopped from the nation of Israel when they were standing to receive the Torah במעמד הר סיני, in front of Mount Sinai. היינו זוהמת הנחש, means the contamination of the snake. It stopped. Why it stopped? Because who is purifying you? מי מטהר אתכם? אביכם שבשמיים, Father in heaven. So when Father in heaven came to us and he met us and we were together, so in that moment it canceled all of the contamination and we became to be pure. So now if a person now, after that he been purified, he gonna fall again and again and gonna sin, at least he's got somewhere to go back to. The other nations, until they're converting and dipping in the mikveh, they never had that experience of being pure. So it's a lot harder for them to be purified. But for us, it's something that we already felt. We have it in our souls. That's a potential that we can sense, we can feel that it's close to us. You always argue with yourself, why am I not pure? Why am I falling? Why am I failing? Means that you feel that you can succeed. You have it close to you. You feel. Why? Because the legs of your fathers, of your ancestors were standing on Mount Sinai. You had that moment, those moments of purification that changed you forever. And even if you fall, and even if you fall worst, you still have that ability to go back. You have that chance to go back to purity. Ve'akum, and the non-Jews, the nations that are worshipping idols, shelo amdu, that they were not standing on Mount Sinai, lo paska zoamatan, their contamination never stopped. They never had one moment of clarity, of purity. They never were 100% pure and clear and sober and clean to see the truth, to realize the truth. All of the time the confusions are attacking and attacking. וזה בידוע שלא עמדו רגלי אבותיו רגלי דייקה. This is why when a person is arrogant, it's been said on him, it's a known thing for sure that the legs of his ancestors were not standing on Mount Sinai. Means that when a person is arrogant, so like we said before, בידוע שנכשל באשת איש, he is impure, he fails in ni'uf, lust for women, adultery, great. So that's because of arrogant. That's why you arguing with him on his wife, Cain. You're arguing with Hevel on Hevel's wife. It's his wife. Let them be happy. Let them build their own house and have children and go pick flowers or something, let them go and enjoy life. What do you want from them? Stop pushing yourself into their lives. It's a result of arrogance. Ragle daika. So what you can see, that they don't have legs. The legs were not standing on Mount Sinai. What it means, why legs? Ki en lahem raglaim, because they don't have legs. Why they don't have legs? Like that it's written, כמו שכתוב, על גחונך תלך. The curse of the snake was that Hashem took his legs from him, and he was crawling on his stomach, on his gachon belly. He was crawling, he lost his legs. And what we know that is Amidah, when you stand on your legs, en Amidah ela tfilah, they cannot pray. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, I have too many complaints on you that you're not coming daily. You found another place, something better, maybe we'll come with you. No? אתה פה. I want to see you and I want to see your father, please tell him to come. It's more important than everything else. באמת, I want you to come. So the person, when he is impure, he is losing the ability to stand on his legs. Ve'en amidah ela tfilah means to pray. He loses his power to pray. Every person can check and look at himself and to understand, to see. It's very simple to see. That when you have that lust, you failed in some failure that's connected to that lust and desire, lust for women, or whatever, something that is close to that, you cannot pray. You're not focused, you cannot do tshuva, you're all confused, you cannot, you don't have the zchut, the privilege to go and to stand in front of Hashem. Hashem is rejecting you in that situation. So it doesn't mean that you need to accept that rejection. You need to work on your purity, on your humility. You need to beg, to cry, to understand. I have to stand. Me, the worst one, now the one that's been rejected. So it's even more important that I'm going to stand on Mount Sinai. It's even more important that I'm going to go and going to talk to Hashem. I'm going to confess. I'm going to do tshuva. From the fact that you've been rejected, you're not supposed to be arrogant and to accept that rejection. Okay, if they don't want me, so like Jesus done. Yeshua, Yimach Shmo v'Shem Zichro. They told him, you're rejected. He said, okay, I'm going to go and worship idols. He took a brick, took a stone, and bowed to the stone. What are you doing? Wait another minute. Wait another minute. Do another tshuva. So you've been rejected again. So what if you've been rejected? What happened? So what? You've been rejected. You're not worthy. You're not fit. You don't have the privilege. You're not so innocent and pure like you imagine to yourself. You're supposed to and you have to. Who are you? You've been rejected. So what? So beg. So ask for free gift. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he's 120 and he's got the merit of saving the lives of all of Am Yisrael and all of the wide world for so many times. And Hashem tells him, you're not entering to Eretz Yisrael. What? It's impossible to understand how Hashem is saying that to Moshe Rabbeinu. And what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, come on. What, are you kidding me? Me, I'm not getting into all of Am Yisrael are here only because of me. I took them out of Egypt. What are you saying? How can you do that? No, nothing. He's just Va'etchanan el Hashem ba'et hahi. I was begging to Hashem in that time, in that moment. Please Hashem, but please, I'm begging. Let me in. Maybe as an animal, maybe as a bird. I'm just going to fly above Eretz Yisrael. He's begging. He's just begging and begging to Hashem Yitbarach. He feels not worthy. He's not arrogant. If a person is arrogant, so he cannot pray. And Moshe Rabbeinu, he was humble, the most humble person. So it's written on Moshe Rabbeinu that there is no dot in the sky that you haven't sent prayers and showed prayers to that point. Just praying and praying and praying and begging and asking and confessing and talking and what else you have to do in life? If you just understand that simple concept that there is a creator and that's it. You don't have more options. We spoke about that yesterday. The options that you have, all of them are lies, except of one. There is one truth that Hashem is here. Enod milvado, nothing except of him. And that's it. Now you want something, okay, it belongs to him. It not belongs to you. You don't have no ability to achieve it. There was a person once that came to Uman, they arrested him, the Ukrainian police arrested him in the gate, in the gate to the Tziyun, to the grave of Rabbeinu. He bought a ticket, he convinced his wife, he found his luggage, he found an apartment, everything was perfect. On the Tziyun, in the entrance to the Tziyun, police officers asked him for a Darkon passport, he gave them, they didn't like what they saw, and they took him back to the airport, back on the aeroplane, back to Eretz Yisrael. And he didn't say Tikkun HaKlali, and he didn't kiss the Tziyun, he wasn't there in Rosh Hashanah. The ticket is not what is going to bring you to Uman. The approval of your wife is not going to bring you to. You need the Rebbe to say, I want him in. If the Rebbe is saying, no, you can stay sick in the apartment in Uman for all of the Chag and not able to go, not to the mikveh, not to the Tziyun. Lying dead. So, it's all, you need to have a merit. So you need to understand that you need to have a merit. And if you don't have something, you don't have it. What do you want? You want to steal it? You want to fight for it? You want to be humble and accept it and beg. It's not that Hashem doesn't want to give you. Hashem wants to give you. But if He will give it to you when you're not humble, you're going to destroy the thing that you're going to receive. You yourself going to damage those very precious gifts that you're going to receive. We talked about that on the subject of shidduchim. That if the person now, he's young and beautiful and everything is so nice and he finds his wife and they're both 20, 21, I don't know, and they're happy and everything is nice. And it's very easy for that couple, very successful couple, to fail in arrogance. Why? Because he thinks that he's something special and that he had a lot of options and he chose that woman. And if they're going to have tests with her, so immediately he's going to say, look, I had a lot of options and I chose her out of my options that I had. And she's not worthy to be married to me. I'm gonna look for someone more in my level, more intelligent, more funny, more positive, not so cranky and nervous and angry all of the time, complaining. I was wrong. Okay, even I can be wrong once in a while. And okay, so Hashem tested me and I failed. Okay. But another person that he got married only when he was 30 or when he was 40, and he already chose 5 or 10 or 20 women that he said, okay, yeah, her. And she said, no, I'm sorry, something is fishy here. And she rejected him again and again and again. When he's going to get married in the age of 30 or 40, or maybe even later, he's going to be very humble. He's going to respect his wife. He will not going to want to destroy that relationship. So it's going to be a lot more important to him and a lot easier even for him to pass that test of life of humiliating yourself, of being humble with your wife in that partnership. Because you cannot be arrogant and to be proud on your wife and to tell her, no, you're wrong, you have to do this, you have to do... If you're going to do that, so one day it's going to hit you in the face. No one is stronger than Hashem. No one is stronger than the education that Hashem wants to educate you. So He's going to bring you, Hashem going to bring you to the humility that is required for you to be humble. Really, to have the ability to believe in Hashem in a complete faith, to see that it's all Him. When you're still crowning yourself all of the time and think, I'm smart, I'm wise, I'm a genius, I'm able, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I have potential, okay, so you're still not able to contain the light of Hashem. Everything is good, you're an amazing, amazing, amazing idol. Mamash, beautiful. Made out of gold, 24 carats, everything is great. Shtuyot. You bow to yourself. You're kissing yourself, you're bowing to yourself, you appreciate yourself, you think that you're important. It's all nonsense, it's all a lie. Only when you realize, thank God for helping me, gave me the right advice, thank you Hashem, then okay, you're going to receive the great advice also tomorrow when you're going to need it. Hashem is saying, okay, he used my money like I want him to, so I'm going to give him more. It's partnership with Hashem, partnership with your wife, partnership with Am Yisrael, partnership in the world. If you're straight, if like Moshe heard on himself that Hashem is saying, Eved Ne'eman, that's a loyal slave. A loyal slave, the boss, the master, going to give him the key to the treasure. He's going to give him his Visa card and going to tell him, go, use it, whatever, because I count on you, because you're loyal. That's how righteous people receive divine spirit and holy, huge understandings and even prophecies. How? Because Hashem give him the keys to the treasures and tell him, okay, you can go and wander and walk in the highest places of them all, in my palace, go. And then he's not... No guards over there. I have the key. Okay, yeah. I'm working for NASA. No problem. You can make another step, another room. No one is stopping you. You work for NASA. You don't have no problems. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He gives you that ability. That's it. It's seen on your face. It depends in what? In your humility. You're never going to touch something that is not belongs to you. You're never going to think. It will never going to cross your mind to think about someone else's wife. Who am I? Who am I to be married to that woman? I know that I'm asking myself daily how she can stand me. So for sure I'm not going to think about someone else's wife. Of course, I'm so grateful that Hashem gave me that amazing gift that someone she's ready to share life with me and to hear me and to talk to me and she's also doing things for me. Who am I? An arrogant person, he doesn't see his laundry fold like he used to. The food is not ready. It's not warm enough. It's not fresh enough. He's got complaints. Where, like we said, where are my slippers and all of those nonsense. All of the time, he's arrogant. He's talking from his mouth. He always thinks that he deserves something higher and more valuable, and only because that he is dumb. He's stupid. When you're humble, you understand, oh, thank you. You thought about me. And then you're so impressed. Wow, you made lunch. You thought about me also. Every time that you're going to have something, you're going to receive something, you're going to be so grateful. Who am I that you're going to cook for me? She signed some agreement that you're going to clean the house for me. Why that I won't going to clean the house? It's so obvious that she needs to clean the house. Why she needs? Why she born with a broom? What? She haven't. She wants to go shopping. She wants to enjoy life. You have some problems. Why you have those problems? I said once to my mother, in your generation, you were fighting for זה נקרא מעמד האישה, women rights. You were fighting, and it caused feminism. And I told her the generation of today, they born like that. They immediately ask, "Are you talking to me? What do you want? Who are you talking to? What do you think? What you said? What you just said?" That you had to fight for it, my mother. You had to fight for it, that someone gonna listen to you, and he didn't care. My wife, she born like that. She already been programmed that she's not talking to you when you're not right. She's not over there. She's not playing those games anymore. She's not. It's kids play for her. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is making that reality for us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is programming the world according to our level, according to our test. For you, it's very easy to be arrogant, to be proud, and to take control, and to use your wife and your children. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it for you. For you, He doesn't want you to fail in those horrible failures, to be someone cruel and vicious. Hashem doesn't want it for you. Hashem, for your success, He wants you to be humble, that you're going to be able to bring holiness and purity and peace and love into your life, that you're going to be able to enjoy life. If a person is crazy, so he lives crazy life. If a person is angry, so he lives angry life. He suffers in his own life. Hashem doesn't want you to suffer, so He wants to educate you. So it depends in the level of your arrogance. Compared to that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to supply you the wife that's going to be able to deal with you and to look at you in the same height, in face to face, פה אל פה אדבר בו, עין בעין, פנים בפנים. Face to face, Hashem was talking to you. He still talks to you face to face. She's looking at you and she tells you, "Who do you think you're talking to? I'm not your mother." And that's it. And it's the end of the game. And it's good for you. But you need to be humble enough to be able to receive it, to accept that rebuke, to be humble. And if not, immediately, Nichshal be'eshet ish, he becomes to be like the foreign nations. He becomes to be one with the snake. He is not able to pray. He doesn't have no connection to purity, to Ein Amidah Ela Tefillah. He cannot pray, he cannot do tshuva, he cannot do nothing, and immediately adultery. Immediately he's failing with another man's wife. In his thoughts, his wife is not good enough for him. That's it. You're out. You are out. Not she. You are out. You have foreign thoughts. Your thoughts are wandering outside in the streets, between other people's houses, other people's wife. What are you doing? In that you're occupying your thoughts, your brain, your heart, your neshama, your soul. Al gechoncha telech. Hashem just helped me to see something else about that tavat ni'uf. When it's written Al gechoncha telech, that the snake is walking on his belly. So the tavat ni'uf, I heard that once from Rav Shalom, that he said that we have few senses. So on every sense, you have a blessing. Okay, so you have a desire in your eyes to see bad things. Okay, but you can still fix it. Where we learned it from? Because you have Birkot HaReiyah. If you saw a Talmid Chacham, you have a blessing. If you saw a rainbow, so you have a blessing. So you can fix. There is purity in that sense. There is something good in it. You can bless on it. You can fix it. On the smell, you can say good blessings on incense, on good smells, on perfume, besamim, minei besamim. You on taste, of course. If you eat something, if you taste, on hearing, you heard good rumors. You thank God. So you say Baruch Mechaya Metim. You have a lot of blessings that you can say Shechiyanu. Those are the senses that you can. But on Chusha Mishush, on how you call that Chusha Mishush, touch. On that, you don't have no blessing. You cannot bless because you touched something. You don't bless on that sense. Nothing. No blessing on that. Why? Because it's a complete imagination. That's a complete imagination. Now think about Tavat Ni'uf, lust for women. The imagination of touching her body, a woman's body, it's 100% imagination. There is nothing in it. Means if now you're going to close the eyes and you're going to touch it, you're going to feel something in your hands. Okay, it's very exciting. Now, if you're not going to see who it is, or if they're going to switch the person, you're going to imaginate that you're with the same one. And you, chas v'shalom, can find yourself, if they're going to test you like that, with a man, for an example. So suddenly, you're going to hold yourself and say, hey, are you crazy? What are you doing? I was imagining. I was imagining. It wasn't real. So on touch, it's 100% imagination. If a person, chas v'shalom, in the worst level of them all, he can touch himself and pleasuring himself and satisfying himself. So it reveals, it's showing to you that we're talking about 100% of imagination. There is nothing in it. There is no reality, no truth in it at all. It's 100% lie. Al gechoncha telech, walk on your belly. First letters of al gechoncha telech, it's tiga, touch. Go touch. That's what the snake is telling you. Touch. It's a lie. Tiga. Al gechoncha telech, tiga, touch. Go touch. What for? Like that guy that I told you. When he told me that, for me, I was impressed. It opened my eyes to observe on that thing from that point of view. Amazing point of truth. He said, okay, I'm so afraid. It's written, Maim gnuvim imtaku. Stolen water, they're sweeter. Why? Because they're stolen, because you're not allowed to, so it's more exciting to have them. So when a person now, he's afraid to think about other women or something like that, so just the fact that it's not allowed to him, it's increasing the desire to do that. It makes him crazy, and he's thinking about, oh, I'm not allowed to do it, I'm not allowed to think about it, and then it makes him crazy, it makes him lose his mind. But if you're not going to be scared, and you're just going to observe and going to look, and you're going to say, okay, you know what, so let's say that I went, let's say that I failed, let's say that I was with that chas v'shalom woman. What I'm going to achieve by that? What's going to be the success? No matter what, it's going to finish after a few minutes. No matter what, it's going to finish with a shower. No matter how it's going to finish with a tshuva, with a regret. No matter how it's going to finish with a disappointment. No matter what. So yes, think about it. Don't be afraid to deal with your lusts and desires. Don't be afraid to go into the depths of tshuva and confess. And say to yourself, yes, okay, you know what? Let's. Okay, what? The demon is not so frightened when you deal with it. When you're running away from it, so he's chasing after you and making weird noises, and you don't know, it's 2, it's 5, it's 7, how many are running after me? Thousands? What do you say? And you fall more and more and more just because, stop. What the maximum that can, I'm going to die? Okay, so I'm going to meet Hashem. I'm going to meet the Creator. Okay, I'm ready to die. So, what can you do now? Can you kill me? Okay, I'm not afraid to die. What can you do to me? A person is going to have zera lebatala? Okay, so what? He going to fail. Okay, so what? Nothing happened. The fear makes you crazy, makes you lose your mind. So don't be afraid to deal with your fear. Go do tshuva. Stand in front of Hashem and tell him, Hashem, I'm sick. Hashem, I'm crazy. Hashem, I'm wild. Hashem, I have issues. I have problems. It started when I was a child. It started in my youth. It started that guy, television, that movie I saw, that person's conversation, that guy he told me, he this and that. Do tshuva, confess. Hashem, I was crazy when I was 13, when I was 15, when I was 17. Hashem, I'm sorry. Help me, clean it. Hashem, purify me. Then do tshuva. Then you're going to have the holy eyes that you're able to deal. Okay, so I had that foreign thought. Nothing happened. So I had that bad hero. Okay, nothing happened. So I had that desire. Okay, I'm going to do tshuva. So I failed. Okay, so what? Nothing happened. A person can damage himself a lot more by running away from dealing than by really dealing with your pain. So deal. So it's going to hurt you for an hour, for 2 hours, for a week. After that week, you're going to be healthy. You're going to be cured. You deal. And that's what it's written. Vayasem Hashem leKain ot. That Hashem purified Cain. He gave him his sign. What that sign? Perush Rashi explained. Hechzir mora'o alehem. He made the animals and people around the world to be afraid of him again. what we said about Cain, that he made tshuva. So because that he confessed on his sin, so the light of tefillin was shining from his head. So people were, all of the nations, they saw you and they were afraid of you. And we explained they were not afraid of you. They received their fear from heaven because of you. Means they were afraid from Hashem. Means that they received faith from Hashem through you. Because that you've done tshuva, people look at you now and they have also the desire to do tshuva. They receive their faith. The faith is coming back to them by your merit. Like that it's written, כמו שכתוב, וראו כל עמי הארץ, כי שם השם נקרא עליך, those are the tefillin. That all of the nations, they saw that the name of Hashem Yitbarach is hovering above your head, and that's the light of tefillin, light of tshuva, like Rabbeinu explained before. Like that it's written, כתב בתיובתא, when he made tshuva, וישם השם לקין אות. So Hashem brought down that light. I think Torah Lamedchet, it's the longest Torah that we ever learned. We have YouTubes from 2 years ago, I think, talking about Torah Lamedchet, and I'm so excited over there that we came to part Gimel in Torah Lamedchet. So thank God, Baruch Hashem. Shar Koach, thank you very much. Chazak u'Baruch.